So you opening the door for somebody coming in. If there's a bank robber or something going on in the store, he's the first one that's in the line of defense. So you have to think about it. Why do we make issues out of these type of things? These are why. It's because he's standing in the gap between your safety and being responsible for you and protecting you. That is why these things are significant. But see, people
Right.
don't know the story behind a man opening the door for a woman,
Right.
or a man opening the car door, or a man walking on the outside of the street. Those are to protect the woman.
Right. And it's
So
the same when you walk with them, you hold their hand or you make sure they have their arm around your arm so they feel that you've got them. That if they should like just because
yes, we lost
I
all that when we wanted to. When we started fighting for. Hey,
uh-oh.
darling, how are
Uh-oh.
you?
Trouble
Hello, how are you?
trouble has entered the building. That's all we can say. Trouble has entered the building.
Come on, Goldie, don't do me like that, bruh.
You know, I'm not lying.
No, that's my buddy right there. He got years of experience with this.
Oh, yes, he does. We're talking about how we treat women.
Oh, I've been listening. I
Yeah.
have definitely been listening to the conversation. I
I'm
mean, and
out.
and I mean, Goldie brings a unique experience because he has all daughters.
Yep.
Yeah.
I have sons. I have two boys. So, um, Journey, you asked the question. If you had boys, how would you, teach them to treat women? My answer to your question is that I have given my boys, they're 20 and 22 years old. So I've given them 20 and 22 years of examples of how I love their mother.
Mm-hmm. Amen.
That is about the best way I can explain that. How
Yeah.
I treat my wife, how I talk to her. I mean, granted, we have some words every once in a while, and we get a little slick with the mouths, but it's still done at the end of the night. We come together, we love on each other. We still say I love you at the end of the night.
Right.
It's not a malicious, but each of us are trying to get our point across. They
Right.
see it happening, but they also understand how it's happening.
Mm-hmm. So let me ask you that my daughter down there, this is my oldest daughter,
Oh,
y'all.
well, hello there. How are you?
Hello.
She has three boys,
All right.
and she's raising them. Their father is very active in their life, so I'm
Okay.
not, gonna take that away. What advice would you give her
To what?
to continue to raise her boys to be, like with you how many years you got? You got
Yeah.
20 some years?
So, yeah. Yeah.
26. 26.
I
26
got
years.
I got
Goldie, how many you got?
38.
So we looking at 60 years of experience in this room.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, my advice to you, and I mean this honestly, make sure your boys are still scared of you. And I mean that in an honest way, that they fear you, that they still fear you, because that puts a little respect in there. Because my mother, I was raised by a single mom, a Scottish lady, and her motto was hit first, ask questions
Ask
later.
questions later. That's
So
right.
then, so you learned at an early age the respect that you did not want to get hit. So you kept in
Okay.
line. And but my mom, even when I was a grown man, I still remember being like 30 and just joking with my mom, just she'd say something and just giving her a little sauce back, and she raised her hand and just gave me a swat. And I was like 30 years old, and I was laughing, going, still, that's your mother. You got to make sure that
Wow.
they got to make sure that they fear you, but it's a respectful fear,
Mm,
because then they'll keep in line. You gotta know that.
Well,
All my friends love their mothers.
I
Miss
like that.
Legacy, the one
Yeah.
thing I could definitely tell you, far as raising your boys, is that you make sure that they build a solid foundation for themselves and
Hmm.
for. How old are your sons? How old are your sons?
Uh,
Oh,
they'll be 13 and 16.
She
Hmm.
has a
oh,
set of
oh,
twins.
oh! This is perfect. Perfect age.
Yeah.
This is the perfect age because at 13 they starting to think that they know everything. At
Yeah.
16 they know everything.
Yep.
Right.
So this is the perfect age that you start to establish them learning
Thank
how to
you.
set a foundation. when you teach boys how to set a foundation, when they get out on their own, they're not going to stray from it. They might act a fool, they might, have their fun or whatnot, but they never forget how to set a foundation. The
Train up a
foundation
child in the
is,
way he should go, and when he is
and
old,
they'll
he
never
will not
depart from
depart
it.
from it.
That's facts. That's a big fact. So you start them learning how to save money, go to the banks. You start
Oh
them
yeah, she got that part down pat.
once you got all of that down, the other thing is just how do you respect the other person? How do you respect them? Do you expect respect or do you demand respect? Which one? Because as a black man raising black boys, there
Come
is
on
a
now.
serious difference
Come
on
on.
what we have to teach our boys, because society is going to teach them everything wrong. We have to stand up as black parents to lead them down the correct path and not sugarcoat anything. Right now, time is out for sugarcoating shit. We just can't do that no more. Because life is gonna chew them up, spit them out, and not even remember that they had a taste in the mouth. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, and
So for us as black parents, we have to take charge, especially single moms raising boys. Baby, you got double duty. Now, granted, you did say that the father is active in their life, and that is not to diminish anything that the father is building as well. But on the female side, on the woman's side of it, you bring a sense of gentileness to their life. You bring a sense of nurturing to their life. That is not to say that they're going to grow up to be quote unquote simps or nothing like that. But you have to establish the respect foundation in their life from the woman's side of it. Don't ever forget to do that.
Wow.
the other thing we taught our kids was school was number one. Anything they wanted to do outside of school came first. And if you didn't have your schoolwork done, it didn't matter if it was your sports, if it was your job, if it was your friends, if it was this.
Right, Tammy. Don't give them a
You didn't get to
there.
go until their homework was done, and they had to keep a certain grade average. So, and you can't they can't all be A students. You know that some of them are going to be good students. Some are, but at least if they're trying and they're doing their homework, the best student they can be. That's all you can ask. And then they get to have their fun, because it learns work-life balance, and that's something they're going to have to learn in life. How do you balance a work plus your life and balance the fun in there? And if you kind of teach them that with school and fun, or school and a job, or school and sports, and how to balance it out, I'll tell you, my kids now who have played for me and played for decades could say they do a lot of things because they learned at an early age how to save money, how to, like Yellow Bull said, how to save money, how to put money away, how to keep a job, how to do work. So it's all about balance.
Yeah, and I think I mean, I raised 5 kids as well, partially through marriage, partially through relationship, partially by my damn self. And but the thing is that when I wanted to have the conversation about men empowerment, it does start at these ages when they're boys, and trying to give them the tools that they need to be the productive men of society that we need. Because like you said, Yellow, is at the end of the day, being a black boy in America is the most scariest thing on earth right now.
Exactly.
But you know what?
It's the most scariest thing on earth. So I need to know, as giving them the tools that they're going to need when they get out there in the world to deal with stuff, not only from just being black, from being a black man, and the challenges that come with it. You got women that are not respecting you. You got men that are not respecting you. You got the police that are not respecting you. You got the white man not respecting you. You got everybody not respecting you.
How do you navigate?
How do you navigate through that? How do
That's
you,
right.
as a man, every morning that you wake up, what do you tell yourself? How do you position yourself as a man when you get up in the morning? What does that look like? Because you have your own business.
Yeah.
Morning, what does that look like? Because you have your own business.
Yeah.
You go out every day to your shop, do what you do, and we pray that you make it home, man, every night. But
Man, no,
what do you
no.
tell yourself when you get up in the morning? What are the things that you do to navigate through a daily life of being a black man?
Well, I don't know
for
about
me.
for Yellow.
Yeah, I'm talking to you, and then Goldie, I want you to answer
Yep,
from your
yep,
perspective.
yep. Fair
Because I
enough.
don't want to make it just about being
No,
black
no.
and white, but it is
Nope.
in
Yeah,
America.
I understand. I
have
understand.
to.
No,
That's
I
what
understand.
happens.
You want me to go ahead and answer that first?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, for me, the first thing I do every morning is that I say, "Thank you, Lord, for bringing me another day."
Amen.
That's my mantra every day. Okay. Secondly, I pay attention to my surroundings at all times. Okay. I watch who approach me. I watch how I approach others. I make sure that the company that I keep are of even keel. If someone new comes into my circle, I vet them thoroughly because, as my pastor says in Houston, in God we trust, everybody else we check out thoroughly. You understand what I'm saying?
I like that.
and that's a motto I've been living by for the past 15 years. I don't play. If you come into my circle and you want to be all smiles and teeth and hee and ha ha's, okay, that's all good and fine. But what type of substance are you bringing me right now? What type of
I was
energy?
just talking about that this morning.
What type of
Yeah.
energy are you bringing me right now? Now,
Yeah.
if you're bringing me a certain amount of energy and I don't like the way that my inner spirit is feeling right now, I'm going to listen to that inner spirit and I'm not going to associate with you too much longer. That is the navigation part that most of us men, not just black men, but most of us men don't take serious enough. We don't listen to our inner spirits enough. You know, listening to your inner spirit is the same as having the right answer on a test and then you go and change it.
Mm. I like that. I like that.
That is the equivalent.
So you're saying that men are not listening to those voices, like when we talk about women intuition, men are
Right.
not listening to their inner voice telling them, yeah, you might not want to mess with that person, or you might not want to go down that street.
Because most men's bravado and machismo prevents them from making the absolute right decision at that right time. They believe that they can circumvent the rules, they can go ahead and circumvent the rules to get around what they originally feel, when they know good and damn well that their first thought was the right thought.
Wow. Yeah.
Good point.
Wow.
You're
like
absolutely 100%
That
right.
opened up.
And a lot of people think they can change someone. They I've had a lot of people in my life that they just continuously give me negative energy, and because of my love for that person or because of the good things that they bring, I kind of ignore it or push it to the side. And I'm learning to know that I have to protect my own energy. I can't constantly let that negative energy into my life. And so sometimes you have to get rid of family, you have to get rid of friends, and you have to close in that gap in that circle.
My circle that got so damn small, I could put a ring around it.
Yeah.
Facts. Mine can fit inside of a thimble while you're playing.
Okay, Goldie, your turn.
Okay. So as you can see, I'm an old white guy. So I have white male privilege, and I don't do or have to do half the things everybody talks about in the morning because I don't have to do that because of my situation. But I do get up every morning and I thank God for another day on this earth for 24 hours because we're not granted anything more. That's all we're given is the day.
We ain't even granted that.
We're not even granted that, right? So all we can think is that, you know what? Thank God we're not 2 feet above the ground and not 6 feet under the ground. And then you have to sit there and say, okay, what do I have to do today? And then as I go out my day, my first thing is I always talk to people how I want to be talked to. When I talk to a certain age group and younger, I have to think to myself, I have to say it like twice in my head before I say it out loud, because if it's something I'm going to say come across, because words that were okay with me or things that were in my generation are still what I would not consider anything bad to the generation now are.
Right.
So you have to think a lot more when you communicate with people. But it's like Yellowbo said, sometimes you have to prepare yourself and really think before you speak. And sometimes I think too much the guys, like you said, the bravado is just react. And it's that machoism inside them. It's like, man, nobody cares about that stuff anymore. Think before you act. Think.
That's good. I like that because I think you're absolutely me. Because if you think about when I think about my dad or my uncles and things that they would be so quick to say, some of the things are offensive today. Not just the words that we as Black people look at, but just general words that it's not okay to call a girl a bitch.
No,
it's not.
No,
it's just
no, it is not.
No,
it's not. You're right.
And so when you hear a man call a woman a bitch, it's like, whoa, hold up, no. But
right.
it's that instant gratification.
That shock.
Yeah, that instant thing that I'm just gonna say she pissed me off, and so I called her a bitch. No, that's
It's that
not how
shock.
it
And
works.
then in today's society, just using it as this cute word that's just going around. Hey, oh, bitch! No, don't do that. And it's just become a part of a conversation naturally, like nothing is wrong with it. And when you have people that come into your circle like that, you have to immediately discard them. Like, I don't accept that in my circle. And then there's the other thing where if you are like,
Women
if you're coming into the room bringing a certain demeanor, then people will naturally, they will put that to the side. They won't bring it in front of you.
Right.
So we're not holding people accountable. We're not
That's
holding
true.
people accountable when they do say something or do something that is offensive.
Yeah.
That's it. I think that. Oh, I'm so glad you hit that point, Jay. It's only when it becomes accountable. How can I say this?
When you get caught.
Well, not only when you get caught, if a certain person catches you.
Right.
Right. That part.
I know what you're saying.
That part right there.
When a certain person catches you, that's when you become like, oh, my bad, or whatever. But before that, it didn't cross your mind that those actions was going to cause
such a reaction.
I can use several different situations.
Yeah, you could.
Where not only women but men have gotten on this app and said something that was offensive to a woman, but they were so okay with it because
it's who they were.
This how we play around. This how we talk with the homies. This what we do in the background. And then, but in the same breath, you will get offended when somebody else do something that's really offensive. Oh no, it's a Black thing. No, it's respect. What we need to do is have respect for each other. Period. Across the line.
I'm gonna go.
If you think for a minute that something is offensive, 9 times out of 10, it's offensive.
Right?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
1,000%. I'll say this because Yellowbo knows me and knows that I talk straight from him. I'm not. I'm all. I love everybody. Like, I love everybody. I hate the N-word. Hate it with a passion. Hate it. There's no. It's a hate word. Pure, plain, and simple. What makes people of my color pissed off is when you hear people of color use the word and use it and then get mad when someone else uses it. I said, you know what? To me, there is no right place to use that word ever. But
again, it goes back to people not understanding the history.
Right.
Because, and again, it goes back to what we are teaching our children and our grandchildren. I would say my grandchildren.
And you're taking it out of school. And you're taking it out of schools.
If you don't know no better, you're not going to do any better. And here's the reason I say that. I went to the Harriet Tubman Museum yesterday for a wedding. It was a wedding at the museum. And I'm going to show you what one of the things. so I can give y'all a clear understanding of what I'm talking about here. Because I don't want nobody to be confused why we say the things we say and do the things that we do. So when you get on this app or you go out in public and you do stupid shit and get called out for it, understand this is why.
For it. That's right. There's a reason why.
There's a reason why.
The penny.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Now, why would I want to see a white woman in full blackface?
Blackface, right.
With trivial necklaces and a staff.
Wait. You talking about that woman that was not full blackface? She painted her whole body.
Her whole body.
Come on.
The reason I bring this up, and let me explain this, because this will probably be the last time I say this if they don't block me before I finish. When we say, like you were saying about the word, the N-word, if I say to you that there is history behind that word, and if you don't take the time to understand what that history is, you are failing me, you're failing yourself, and you're failing your community.
Correct.
Period. Yep. You cannot justify in 2022 of dressing up like this.
Absolutely.
1,000%. 1,000%.
And so when a man calls a woman, and going back, I'm putting a whole circle on this. So if I say to you that you calling me a bitch is offensive, you need to go back and do the understand why that is offensive to me.
Mm-hmm. You know, when we were talking,
a bitch is somebody that men have trampled over for years and treated like crap and did what they wanted to do with their bodies and everything else behind that word. So there is history behind the word bitch.
Mm-hmm.
It's abuse. Abuse is behind the word bitch. Because most men back in the day, when they called a woman a bitch, they was probably slapping her upside her head.
Yeah.
That's correct.
Yeah.
So when you understand the words and the power that they have, and as men, if you don't understand that there are certain things that you can say to a woman without diminishing her character, her self-esteem, and everything, words are powerful, and they will strip a woman down to her bare soul if used incorrectly.
Especially coming from someone that you love and care about.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
My whole thing is with that, even with everything that Journey just said, everything that everybody in this room and in the chat has said. For me, I'm getting ready to do a video about the word access. We give access to way too many people.
Yes.
Way too many people. People that look like Goldie, they can do a certain thing. They can do a certain thing, dance a certain way, cook a certain way, and we want to give them access. And with that certain amount of access, they believe that they can do and say whatever.
Yep.
No. Even with women in relationships, you're giving way too much access to a person who is not husband status just yet. The word access.
Now you going stepping on our toes. We not
stepping on our toes. Hey, listen.
No,
I'm just talking about the word. I'm just talking about the word access.
Yeah, and you know what else?
Now you got people pulling up their chairs and
hold on. Wait. Hold on. Wait, real quick. When we talk about I know you are. When we talk about the word access, we're talking about the broad spectrum of that word. Now, with the amount of access, we also have to establish boundaries. With those boundaries, we cannot blur the lines. We can't make it a solid boundary for one and then blur the line for another, because now the access into your boundary becomes accessible. How are you going to differentiate between one person having access and the other person having access, and their actions are the same?
It's called harassment.
How are you going to do that?
It's called harassment.
Well, it can be called harassment, in certain aspects, but in the broad spectrum
I
of
just
it,
had like a whole visual when he said that.
I know, me too. I did too. But when you grant that kind of access to people, regardless if it's a person of a different color, a different creed, a different sex, a different nationality, when you grant that kind of access, you also have to establish a firm boundary and stay firm to it. If you're in a relationship and you're trying to court or date this other person, this man, in ladies' cases, if you're trying to date this man, you have to limit the access. Don't give him the access code. You punch the code in for him and allow that person to come in.
Okay.
Don't give him the access code.
Okay.
But the problem is there's too many of these stupid apps where the access code is given away with one swipe. So these guys know how to get to the bank.
They know.
And they know how to make a deposit, and they don't have to open an account there either. They just right. It's just a withdraw.
Just pull up in the driveway.
Pull in the driveway. Right.
Okay.
It's just like an ATM machine, and that's unfortunate that they don't.
But let me ask you something. Okay, so with that being said, if I have allowed you and a couple other people to make withdrawals, once I say the account is closed, what happens?
They move on to the next one.
The account is closed.
They move on to the next one.
So
I'm just being honest with 5 girls. I've seen it happen 1,000 times.
Again, this is a part of how we're going to empower each other. It's learning the behavior and learning. At the end of the day, we can be like, as women, we can say we can give our body to whoever we want to give. We can give access to whoever we want to give. You can't be mad if I give my access to you and Bob and Joe and anybody else that I want to give access to. It's mine. I can give access to.
And then a lot of times, those are the women that's left there feeling empty.
Right.
Well, that's
calling somebody up complaining about it.
Even as a man, once I've said that to you, do you in turn have a right to declare me not valuable?
No. No, because
but feel like your deposit is more or less than the next person's deposit.
No,
because if we're just in this, I'm gonna do me type of mindset, then I'm gonna need you to have that same energy when it comes down to talking to me or experiencing anything with me. I'm gonna need you to have that same energy that you was okay with depositing on your part.
Right. Yeah. But see what happens if you establish the boundaries and they see what kind of bank you are, and that it would be wise to open an account first and then do the depositing.
I like this analogy.
It makes it there because, like your daughter said, too many of her friends open up checking accounts, right? They're just in and out, and it's just money's in, money's out, and there's no respect to the checking account. It's the savings account. It's the one you want. It's the one you want to be with. But you set it up first, like you said. You set it up to say, hey, here's my list. If you don't like it, you might as well go to the next bank, because I don't even want to even start to put 1 ounce of my energy into this unless you are willing to meet this criteria. And if you're not, keep walking. And I've set that to my kids, and to be honest, I got 1 out of 5 married. The other 4 are all single because they can't find guys because they have a list. And if the guy can't meet that list, off you go. No need.
Well, see, I had a whole conversation with my brother-in-law last week, because I was saying, I'm single. I'm 55. 55.
It's a hard number to say.
Too funny.
5 years old. And I've been officially. Can y'all hear me?
Yep.
It started going out back.
Got me?
Yeah.
Okay.
We can hear you now.
I've been officially single since last year. When I say officially, like I've been officially not dating anybody for a year now.
Okay.
And the reason is because first of all, I ended a back and forth relationship for over 10 years. And so now I'm at the stage in my life where I'm 55 years old. I don't have any babies. All my adult children have their own children and they're doing their own things and stuff like that. I'm ready to travel. I'm ready to be out here and I'm ready to have somebody to come along with me and hang and roll out, like, you know, that type of thing. I used to be wanting marriage. I wanted the marriage thing. But now I'm like, first of all, it's hard to get a man my age that even is thinking like I'm thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Where they at?
Canada. You gotta come. You need to come to Canada. They're all up here. Because
He said you got to go north of the border. You got to travel north.
I'm willing to travel, and see, that's the thing is I've said this. I'm willing to travel, but when it comes down to communicating with me and my age on that level, and saying those things, right, and having a man that's going to be honest enough to say that is what he's looking for, and get you in a position where, okay, yeah, I want that too, and then you get in there and then it's like completely different. You want somebody to stay at home with you and rock the chair with you. Right. I'm not rocking. And New Zealand, New Zealand right. too. New Zealand, okay.
Yeah.
So, some options.
Yeah.
So
this is my man from New Zealand.
When you get to a certain age, I'm sure you in the barbershop, you talk to these men, you know, the older men. What are they saying?
I get my hair cut at a girl's salon, so I don't know.
I'm talking about metal. What are the older men saying? What are some of the things that they're expecting from relationships and things like that?
Yellow, what do you hear? She's talking to you.
Oh, well, here's the thing. If you have noticed,
I probably
haven't been in a barbershop in quite some time. But interestingly enough, I do cut hair. I do have men come to the house, and we do have barbershop talk, so to speak. A lot of the dudes, from what I gather, a lot of the older dudes, the older gentlemen that I do cut, and I don't tell them this, and some of them probably be on TikTok right now. They probably listen to me. I don't care. A lot of the older dudes right now have a young man's ego.
Wow. They want a trophy. They want a trophy wife.
Well, no, not so much a trophy wife, but they want to play the young man's game. See, us older dudes, you know, they call us silver foxes and so on and so forth. Them young dudes we call thundercats. These older dudes, these silver foxes, want to have thundercat egos. They want to go out there and play the game. They want to go out. Yeah. So they think they're still in their head living in the 30s. No, because that's not all of them. But a lot of them have that thought.
That's so true.
A lot of them have that thought. You know, hey, you know, I got this one lady over here in Dallas, and she doing a thing. She's corporate America. She worked for IBM. Yeah, she doing all right. But this one chick I got in Austin, man, look, let me tell you. And I'm like, wait a minute, hold up. You talk about this one woman in Dallas, and what about this woman in Austin? Oh, I mean, she all right, but boy, she is fine as hell, boy. Woo! Boy, when I show up on her arm, I mean, it's like candy, pure candy. I'm like, oh, okay. So you got a bird in the hand in Dallas, and you trying to get the two in the bush in Austin. What are we doing here? What are we doing?
So, I'll tell you from what my single friends who are in their let's go 45 to 55 age group.
Okay.
First thing they do on their dating app is they lie about their age. Second thing they do is they put pictures with filters on that don't look anything like them. Third thing they do is, like we talked about, they go to the bank and go to the ATM machine on the first date. And all these things happen, and then they wonder why they can't keep the man. And I said, because everything's based up on a lie, right from the head start, where if you sit there and say, again, here's me, Here's what I want, and here's what I can get. You're a very attractive woman. If you wanted to get a guy, it would take you no problem. I'm just like I said. I'm happily married for 30 years. I'm just being honest. It's not. It's got. It's if you wanted it, you had to. But
Right.
there's
It's the
so much.
standard.
It's the standard because unfortunately, these stupid apps have lowered the standards to be, hey, I've never met you before, but I saw your picture. Would you like to hook up? And people do that, and there's no respect anymore.
Right.
Like there's no respect.
And I think that's the thing is because I'm not doing no dating app. I'm just
no.
not. That's not going to happen. But my brother-in-law, I was telling him, he said, well, you know, your expectations for men is too high. I was like, I don't think they're too high. I just think that I know what it is that at 55 years old, I finally know what it is that I want in my life. And so I'm not accepting anything less than that. So I'm okay with being single, you know what I mean? But understand that I know I can get a man.
Right?
Any woman can get a man.
Trust me. Right?
I don't care what she look like. I don't care how small, how big. She got one leg, two legs, one arm.
Right.
It does not matter. So we can easily make a deposit any day of the week as a woman.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, I tell my girls that too. I said, if any guy is not worth waiting for, if he's not worth waiting, whatever boundary you set, whether it be a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, 3 months, whatever time you decide it's time, you set the boundary. If he's not willing to wait, then he's not worth it.
Right.
Because then he doesn't respect you enough to say you're worth the wait.
But it's interesting that y'all just said that about these silver fox. I didn't know.
True.
I didn't know.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I know that, I know.
I know
guys like younger women and that type of thing, but I didn't know that their mindset is Thundercat when they out here acting like they looking like silver foxes, but they out here being done.
Correct.
And the reason they're being Thundercats is because it's a game for them.
It's all a game. It's not so much the game. I guess we can say it's a game, but it's more of a challenge.
Yes, because the values have changed. Because the values have been so lowered, they can sit there, and this is the honest truth. And when I say this, it's going to sound so bad, but it's the truth. This friend of ours, she would say say Wednesday of the week, she would have Joe lined up for a date. And Joe would be interested in her Wednesday, and he'd be texting her back and forth. Then he's texting her Thursday, but not as much as he was Wednesday. And then Friday, he's not texting her so much. And then now Saturday, when they're supposed to go out, he can't make it. And I said to her, you don't understand. He's got you already lined up. You're in his back pocket. Now he's going to try and get a girl that's more closer to his age group. And as those girls deplete, 1 A B C D, you're number E.
Yeah.
And then when he strikes out with all those ones, he pulls E out of the back pocket, and now you're his date for the night. But if he gets A or B, you're out. And that's what the standards are. And it's because of these stupid apps. I'm telling you, I hate them. I hate them with a passion.
Well, they're working for us right now. But here's the other thing. Okay, so when how important is honesty? Do you think a man or a woman can be honest about their sexual encounters sooner than later? Do you think it is do you think that if you are not in a serious relationship with somebody, okay, you just started, and you know what situation I'm talking about, where I'm going with this.
Mm-hmm.
But if you are not in a marriage with somebody, which you got to lead up to a marriage, and if some people, they want to test the goodies or whatever, however you want to do it, or however your life leads you down that road. But if you say that if you're talking about these silver fox, okay,
mm-hmm.
So if these silver fox are behaving in Thundercat manner, so in the idea of being in monogamous relationships is just out the damn window, apparently, from what I'm hearing. Mm-hmm. Are you responsible to give the information to let the other person decide on if that's something they want to do.
Of course they should, but they don't. I've been in a relationship where they have.
So if I get this right, you're basically saying that you want to make sure that if you're dating somebody and you haven't admitted that you're exclusive, do you have to admit that you're sleeping around with other people?
Well, not even admit. If I ask you.
Oh, yeah, they have to be 100% honest. Absolutely. And if they don't, then and you find out about it, then you know what you were going to walk into, someone that was going to cheat on you further down the road. So it's better to get rid of them.
And do you think that there's evidence? I believe, here's what I believe. I honestly believe in everything that's in me. If I start a relationship with somebody, I honestly feel like I would know. They ain't even got to tell me. I just feel like there's evidence for you to know.
I don't know, darling. I don't know.
I think it would be.
We have some
like
very,
said, like
we have some very, very, we got some very.
Let me say this, like he just said. The reason I say it is because of what Goldie just said. He said he called you on Saturday or last week, and y'all got plans to meet up on Saturday.
Yep.
I ain't heard from you Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Saturday, you calling me to cancel. Are we really counseling or are we doing something else? You know, like that would be, my intuition would tell me something just don't add up with this person. Or if I'm calling this person and when they call me back, it's like the weirdest times. Like, okay, I get you work from this time to that time.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just, I just feel like we intuitionally know
most of the time.
Another person, and I'm talking about both ways. I'm not just talking about, I'm talking about men too. I just think that, and I think the reason you asked that question is because you feel like something is. Let me ask him if he's seeing somebody else. Because I've never asked that. I've never asked that on the first, third, fourth date. I've never asked that question. Are you seeing somebody? Like, that just never been a conversation I had with somebody.
That's funny.
Why not?
But you know what?
Why not?
You know what? It's funny.
I didn't feel like especially if we just started, like, you know, like we went on a date or whatever. I just didn't feel it was necessary for me to ask that because, first of all, I didn't know where the relationship was going. And then afterwards, if there was a sexual encounter, then it was like, if I say to you, you know, first of all, there's a such thing as protection, you know, so there's that. But
we call that overdraft.
Generally, come out.
In Canada, at the bank, we call that overdraft. Overdraft protection. That's what we call that.
But in general, I just never felt the need to ask somebody if they was, because I don't know, maybe I trust people. That's my fault. My bad.
Yeah, that would be it.
But you know what?
You answered your own question.
Yeah, I answered my own question.
When we were talking, what is one of the other things, the advice you give your daughter about your two boys? And Yellow Bull, well, you can back me up on this one. Because I had all girls, and he's got two boys. I tell him, you make choices in life. And choices come with consequences, either good consequences or bad consequences. But you make that choice. So you are accountable. So if you decide to sleep with guy on first date and it goes horrible, that's on you.
Right.
Because you made the choice for it.
Freddie.
Or if you decide to do something positive and something positive comes at it, that's a choice you made, and that's a part that come with consequences. So you tell your boys how you treat women come with consequences, because if you get a reputation for being not a good guy, girl, you might have a girl that might be smitten with you, but she won't have nothing to do with you because she's heard the reputation that you're a player, or you're a womanizer, or you're this or that. Am I wrong, Yellow Bull?
It sounds like from what you're saying is that they want that.
Sorry?
It sounds like from what Yellow was saying is that they want this reputation because they're Silver Fox being Thundercat.
Oh yeah, they want the reputation. They want that.
So how do you convince your son that you don't want this type of reputation when society is saying yes, the hell you do?
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. Yellow Bull, you're the dad.
Well, okay. Well, honestly, you know, I can only inform you.
Right.
Okay. You are a man of your own conviction. Once you're out my house, and both of my boys are out of my house, once you're out of my house, you now have to walk the path you lay out for yourself.
Right.
I've given you the instructions. You got the blueprint. I've given you the playbook. Now, if you decide to deviate and do your own thing, that is entirely up to you. And when you get hurt or whatever the case may be, you have to cry in your own pillow. Don't come to me
Oh, that's
because
it.
I've already told you what to look for.
So Anna asks, this is for the guys. How can you deal with guys that always want to be the victims?
Woo,
Oh,
deal with that.
what do you when they
Wait,
when
wait,
they
wait.
play? What do you mean by the victim? And I'm just asking that honestly. What do they
Oh,
say when they're the victim?
I. It wasn't my fault that I got fired. It wasn't
Oh,
my
then
fault that I
yeah,
didn't make
yeah,
no money. It wasn't my
yeah,
fault that the
yeah,
car. It wasn't my.
yeah,
It was not
yeah,
my fault. See what
yeah,
had happened
yeah,
was,
yeah.
and
So when
women
you
do it
tell,
too. Women,
yeah,
I played the victim.
yeah,
I,
because
I,
it's
I used to know how to play her real good. In my old age, I kind of forgot some of the rules of the game because y'all done switched shit up. So I don't know
Well,
as
the
much as
thing
I used
is, you have to make sure that person is not so much focusing on the problem and focusing on the solution of them not feeling like they're a victim. How can you fix not feeling like a victim?
to. I'll be right back.
Or
Y'all
what
keep
can I
talking.
do
yeah,
to help you
right.
not feel like a
If
victim?
if
Because so many people are constantly focusing on issue or problem versus focusing
just
on the
the
solution to that
solution,
problem.
right? Yeah, I find a lot of times with guys when they get busted, it's not their fault.
Hmm.
That's because if they can somehow deflect it and turn it against you and make somehow turn it on
Yeah,
you.
you wasn't giving me enough attention. You wasn't giving
Yeah,
me enough
yeah,
love and all that
right,
stuff.
yeah,
But did you tell this woman that you're not getting enough attention? They not giving you what you're asking for. That's the problem, the communication. So they're not telling the person that I need this or that. So they're the first thing in their mind is I'm gonna go get it from somewhere else.
right,
So they're not willing to put in the work of informing the person that they want to be with. This is what I want. This is a non-negotiable for me. And then they're just going on to the next person, and then it's just a continuous cycle.
right. Where when you know, and then see the sad part is, and it's funny because women can do it to men just as much as men can do it to women. Women can play the psychological game and deflect and make the guy feel like he's not worth anything. It goes both ways.
Hmm.
It's funny that those people that can do that to you, they have it's issues. They have issues with themselves. The problems with them, they know that, but they don't want to deal with it or put it into the work, like you said. So it's not. It's never gonna change. But it's funny how they can make you. Do you find this that when they do that to you, when they start deflecting and blaming you, that you start sometimes second guessing yourself, going, "Did I?
Yes.
Is it me? Am I the one that's in the wrong here? Did I do that?" Because telling you,
Well,
you know, go ahead, yo.
all that is honestly, that is just professional gaslighting.
Yeah,
That's exactly what that
Oh,
is.
gaslighting. Who
That is
said what?
professional gaslighting. No, Goldie was just explaining about explaining the questions. How can why do men feel like they can be the victim and so on and so forth? My explanation, honestly, to that is that women will placate to a man's fragile ego real quick,
yeah. Oh yeah.
Mm,
Oh yeah, for sure.
mm.
Go like this. Just go like this to the guy,
real quick.
real quick.
I mean, even you don't even have to millimeter your fingers like that.
Right.
If a man is having an egotistical tantrum, and they're all within their feelings, women 9 times out of 10, being the nurturers that they are, will try to placate the man to make him feel better.
Yes.
Not really trying to figure out, why is this dude acting a fool like this?
Right.
Did you bring this upon yourself?
Right.
Because if you brought this upon yourself, partner, you need to get out of that little pity party that you're in. Put your big boy pants on. Pull your boots on by your bootstraps. Get the hell out of here and
Yeah.
go get it done. Get it fixed. No,
Oh.
women like to go ahead and say, "Oh, baby, it's gonna be all
Don't worry
right.
about it.
It's
We'll
gonna
get
be
it
just
taken care
fine.
of.
Just
Uh,
come here, baby. Put your head. Put your head right here, baby. It's gonna be all right. No, 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 no. If you don't get your rusty, dusty ass out there and try to fix the situation without somebody coming to your rescue and putting some aloe vera on your bruised ego, boy, if you don't get the hell up out of here.
Ooh.
But that's me.
So he is 100. No, he's 100% right, because my middle daughter, my Robin, my third one, she's got the heart of gold. She brings home these guys with one arm, or they're missing this, or they're that, or they're whatever, and
She
I'm
want
like,
to fix them.
yo, she gonna fix them.
She gonna
I'm
fix
like,
them. I think
oh,
that's and that's so. Oh my God. Oh my God. We
oh
want to
yeah.
fix people.
Oh,
Stop
why?
trying to fix people.
Why?
You can't. You cannot fix
No.
somebody.
If they don't
Look,
want to be, if they
oh
don't
my
want to be
God.
fixed,
I'm
if they
so
don't want to be
glad y'all
fixed,
saying that.
right?
Oh my God.
And Yellow Bowl knows I don't drink. I'm an alcoholic. I'm a recovering alcoholic. I have been for years.
Mm-hmm.
And I work with people, and I say that sometimes when you're working with someone and it's not going well, and you work with their family, and the family's like, how come this isn't working? And it's because he doesn't want it to work, or she doesn't want it to work. It's the same thing in the relationship. You confront the man and you say, this is what's wrong. This is what needs to be worked. And until he's ready to accept the fact that he's got to work on himself, nothing's going to change.
Is it a middle child? That's what I was saying earlier.
This is the middle
Oh,
child
okay.
thing.
Oh,
This is
okay.
exactly what I tell people. Stop going into a relationship trying to fix folks. We are not
Woo,
we are
Lord.
not relationship mechanics. Okay, we're not relationship mechanics. You do not have a degree in trying to fix people. If
Do
you
you
have a
know?
degree in trying to fix people, we call you
Yeah.
doctor.
Do you know
Right.
what?
Let's
When
get
I
that
was in,
straight. We call
when
you
I was
doctor.
the relationship that I just finished up. Do you know that was the last thing? That was like the last thing that we had a big conversation about. I was like, well, why was you with me all these years? He was like, I was just trying to help you. Wait, who said I needed help?
Yeah.
I was very capable of doing things. You just didn't like what I presented to you. So you thought you can change it.
Mm-hmm.
You thought you can make me somebody that I was
Mm-hmm.
not going to be
And
any day of the week. So therefore, when you looking at me, this is me. If I have changed. Let me say that. That's why my name is Life Choice Journey. But
yeah,
I chose the life
you
that
had
I
to.
wanted to
That's
lead.
right. That's
I
right.
chose the journey that I wanted
That's
to be
right.
on. And it's
That's
not
right.
going to be for everybody. And so
Yeah.
for any person to come along and think, well, I'm going to fix this part of her life because that part right there sucks. That's a part of me. That's who
Yeah.
I am.
And you
So
know what else?
when you talking about being an alcoholic, when I was a compulsive gambler for years, and
Oh
my
yeah.
daughter is
Yeah.
here, I have
Yeah.
two of my
Addiction's
daughters in
addiction.
the room. So they know what I sent them through, but they couldn't stop me.
Yeah.
My own
Addiction's addiction.
children could not
Yeah.
stop me. My
Yeah.
husband could not stop me. My
Yeah.
mama that birthed me into this world could not stop me. It was
Yeah.
when I got sick and tired of doing that I
Right.
decided to make a decision to try to get
Amen.
some help,
Amen.
and start working the programs and doing
Yep.
the things. I left my kids for 30 days. For 30 days to get help.
Yep.
So my
Yep.
character behaviors, I know what they are. I know what, and I also know that it attracts toxic.
Absolutely.
So when you're toxic, you
Mm-hmm.
attract toxic.
Yeah.
So the women that are out here trying to save men and the men that are out here trying to save women, understand you're looking for toxic because that's what you want. You want toxic. So you can pat yourself on the back and say, look at the project I made.
Yeah. You know what else is? You know what else it is too with men in today's society? It's
I'm a
hard.
member of Avalon.
It's hard for some men to accept the fact that the woman that they're attracted to might be smarter than them and might make more money than them and might be more successful than them. And that's, like Yellow Bull says, that's a hit to their manhood.
So why get involved with women if you know that that's an ego? If that's where you at?
Right.
Because we don't think with this brain, we think with the other brain. That's the truth. Yellow Bull, am I lying?
No, sometimes we will think with the small head before the big head engages. That's the
Yeah.
truth. That's
Right.
the gut on the truth. But
So what happens once
on
you've
to really
invested?
answer your
Okay, so
question.
now you've invested and you found out that the little head wasn't thinking.
Right.
Now what?
Well, okay, to go back to what you were saying. when a man finds out that a woman is doing better than them, they're being a little bit more affluent than the guy is, the man will now take on the role as a destructor. Now they're going to try to tear you down from the inside out.
Mm,
Now they want to bring you down to their level because how
mm.
dare you be lofted on this pedestal when I didn't put you there? How
Wow.
dare you?
Right?
Oh, I love this. I
Excuse
love
me,
this.
woman.
Oh my God.
You need to be beneath me because
Yeah.
right now your bank account makes mine look paltry, and we
Yep.
just cannot have that. Your
Yep.
800 credit score right now is making my 650 look stupid right now.
Yep.
I need for you to have some bad credit so you can come down to my level so we can then build ourselves together, and then I can say, look what I helped you do.
Yeah.
That
Wow.
part.
Why would I go to your stupid party with your stupid friends? They all think they're all this, that, and the other thing. You know, you should come with my friends because in my group, I look like I'm the smart guy. Where if I hang out with you and your friends, like Yellowbo said, I'm not that guy, and it's hard
Wow.
for their ego.
So, do you think that that's narcissist or?
Oh, for sure,
But
absolutely, 100%.
so I just found out. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I learned. I'm gonna tell you. I learned so much on this app, and I'm so thankful for the stuff that I've learned. But I really just understood what a narcissist was like, and I understand now that I was with a narcissist person and didn't even realize that I was. I just thought that he was a perfectionist and he wanted things done in a certain way because that's the way he made. That's the way he presented it.
Mhm.
He presented it like I just like things to be in order and I like for things to be this and I like for things. So I'm thinking I got a good man because he
What's
got
up,
to
Chris?
he's orderly. He gonna pay the bills. He gonna do this all the time. So those days when I came
Hmm.
home and he was just sitting there and I'm like, what's wrong? And he would just be like nothing. And then I started feeling bad. Knowing I didn't
See,
do nothing,
Okay.
but I took on
Here,
whatever
here's
it was.
see, that's what you were out of the room when we were talking. We were talking to your daughter, and we were saying how sometimes these guys make you start second guessing how you feel about yourself because they
Yeah.
start bringing you down. You're like going, they start making you
mhm.
crazy. They start making you crazy, and I've
Yeah.
seen it. I watch my daughters watch them, and my wife and I watch them date these guys, and these guys,
Yes,
like Yellowbush said,
milkman. Milkman.
destroy them, like destroy these my daughters. You want to beat the shit out of these guys, but you can't because you're not going to
Right.
jail. And you try to talk to these girls, say, why do you let them talk to you like that? It makes I don't understand. I don't understand.
My whole thing is that we have to really be careful when we start slinging around the narcissist title
That's
because
why I was
someone is
asking.
very
That was
orderly. Okay. Here's this is the line of delineation for me. Orderly can be borderline OCD. There's
he
nothing
was.
wrong with that. I have nothing wrong with that part. But when you have OCD with a control factor, now you're on a narcissistic side of it.
Right.
Agreed.
Okay? Now, if you do know that your husband's going to snap or your wife is going to snap because the kitchen is out of order, we got dirty laundry laying on the floor, the dirty towels is hanging over the tub, then that's a you issue. You already know the standard that your significant other is
Right.
keeping for the house.
Right.
That is not a controlling factor. That is just a clean factor. But
Right.
Hmm.
now, if you're coming into the house and if you do not keep this house clean, there's going to be a consequence that your body's going to pay for. Now you're getting into the narcissistic abusive
Right.
side of it.
Yeah,
There's a
that's what he was.
huge difference between the two.
He was a narcissist.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm.
And I understand that now. I
And
didn't know
and
what it
most
was
narcissists
then.
are captains. Yeah, most narcissists are absolute experts in gaslighting
Oh
because
yeah.
they will definitely know how to do the wrong and then make you feel like you did the wrong and you're the
Yeah.
real bad person for doing the wrong. Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah.
They
That's
never take blame. They never take
never,
blame. They never
never
take
in the
accountability
whole
ever.
never.
And it's not just men. Women can be narcissistic too.
Oh,
Oh,
absolutely.
totally.
Very.
Absolutely. Truly. Truly.
And
Totally.
and when women are narcissistic, and I mean this honestly, they're worse than men because
Yeah.
they think more than guys do. They think things through you know, they really put some effort into this before they think of what their next move is going to be. Where a lot of guys react, even though it's narcissistic, they still react a certain way. We're more reactive, where women are more thought
Planners.
process.
Yeah,
Thank you.
they plan.
They plan.
Yes,
Yes.
we do.
And then 9 times out of 10, they execute their plan. They execute their
Yeah.
plan.
There was
Most dudes just do it
yeah.
by the seat of their
Yeah.
pants.
So there was a thing, and it's the truth. They did a study
Yes.
with girl gangs, and what they do is they meet, like, even in prep schools, not gangs like fighting gangs. I just mean like groups of girls,
Cliques.
cliques.
Yeah.
Thank you. They will bring a girl they want to bully. They'll bring her into the group, into the pack, and make this girl think she's one of them. And then once they've got her where they think they've got her, bam,
Yep.
they kill. Where Yellow goes, right, I don't like him, he doesn't like me. Him and I go outside, we punch each other in the face, and whoever does it the best gets the win, and that's how it works.
Right.
That's how it goes.
Women are more methodical.
Well,
I watched
it happen. You think about it, even on when you look at the things that be going on this app, you see how they will woof, they will get you in and pacify you and show you how it's done, and then turn right around and kick you to the wolves and leave you just completely out. I'm bisexual, and that was my last girlfriend. Yeah.
Calculated.
She put you in the ER.
Calculated.
Oh, damn.
Jeez.
Oh, wow.
Damn.
See, that's a no-no.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you're okay now.
Hi.
Yeah, you ain't lying.
Well, you all, I have to go and eat, but I'm coming back. I said I'm gonna take a break, and I will be back at reconvene at 5:30. So I would love
have a great
5:30. What time zone?
Eastern.
All right.
Eastern time. I would love to continue this conversation. I would love for everybody to come back in. I'm definitely going to do some giveaways. So I would love for everybody to come back in.
And talk about creating some wealth.
Well, that's going to be, the next conversation was going to be about community and how we can support each other and making them legacies for our children and our grandchildren. So please, y'all, come back. Please.
Right.
Thank y'all so much. This has been amazing.
For sure.
I cannot wait to share this with people.
No
Thank
problem.
you, Yellow. Thank you, Jay.
You know I have a good time. You know I have a good time every time I come in your room. Every time
so glad.
I have a good time.
I'm so glad. I missed y'all. I was out for a whole week. They banned me for a whole week, so. But I'll be back at 5.